Hi, this is Crystal Lynn with Angels Conversations, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about triggers and how to handle them, what that means, and what's the best way to meditate and release things that are not in your best interest. Recently, a good friend of mine was dealing with some triggers, and it was really hard for her because her mind wanted to just run, and the ego and triggers are very, very closely related. The ego is there to protect you, but at the same time, the ego is also really negative. It has a need for control. It has fear. It has anger. It has anxiety. It's pretty much the exact opposite of ascension. The idea of the ego, though, is to protect you. So it's going to look for the negative to have a way of shielding you. And when things don't go accordingly to your where you're uncomfortable and you start to feel worried about things, that's where the ego kicks in and it starts to really run with whatever your concerns are. It can be a relationship, it could be money issues, anything that's indicating fear. Um, all of these things, they all run together. So, what we're here to talk about is how to get control of the ego and to really put it in its place so that you are not being run by fear, anxiety, anger, stress, control. All these different things are all a part of it. And there is a way to do that. In the first place is to understand how the ego works, and then how to disengage that little voice that creates this major separation and chaos in your mind. To neutralize the anger and the fear and the hatred is to actually start to understand true mastery and how your mind works and what you can do to embrace who you truly are. Because if the ego can separate you from your true self, that is exactly what it will do. So, true mastery comes from knowing who you are, being in your highest form, thinking with your highest mind. And anytime you're feeling uncomfortable, worried, all these things, they create this chaos. And the following is going to be a meditation or even just a way of thinking so that you can get control over the way you're feeling, because you don't want to create this type of more chaos in your life. You don't look where you don't want to go, is what I've always said. So if you don't want certain things to happen, then you need to learn how to control your thoughts and how to control your feelings. And once you get that, then you start understanding what self-mastery is. Once you get into self-mastery, it goes into ascension, where you're actually growing every day, understanding who you truly are, what you're capable of. And as you go into that, then you're getting somewhere where you're going to have real joy in your life, peace, ascension, knowing who you are, and confidence. I hope that sounds good to you. And if you'd like, we will go ahead and do a small, short meditation to get that alignment for you. So, as you start to go into this meditation, I would like to make a suggestion that you find a place to sit down or to lay down to relax, to give yourself just a moment to reset. It's such a good place to be when you can just stop for a moment and just relax and start to find your center, to start going into the present. This is time to relax. Take note of how you feel, and we're going to get our center back, go back into alignment with who we truly are. which means breathing, making yourself comfortable, and starting to control your thoughts. So take a nice deep breath and just follow the rhythm of how you're feeling and let it go. Focusing in on the nostrils as the air comes through the nostrils. Hold it for just a moment and then let go. Take another deep breath. All is well. You're fine right now. And you're going to let it go and let go of any negativity. Notice where the body is tight and just kind of release it. Pay attention to your shoulders and your neck and your face and just start to release, knowing that you are taking back your control over your mind. And if you need to, tighten everything up for a second and then let it go and make that intention of releasing. And as you take another deep breath in, you're bringing angelic healing light in, holding it for a moment and releasing anything negative, knowing that you are going to be just fine in this moment. We're in a moment of time, and to bring ourselves back to the mindfulness and the gratefulness that we are here for really helps when we can just stop for a moment and take a nice deep breath and just release the things that are really not that important. It'll pass and you can let it go. Take another deep breath. Everything is good. Everything's going to be fine. And I will not allow my mind to control me in a way that is negative, and letting it go. Taking another deep breath in. What is the best way for me to think right now? What is the best and highest form of who I am? And releasing anything negative that you are holding on as you breathe out. Knowing that you are intentionally centering yourself so that no longer will the ego have say so. And it feels so good. It's just the right time to take that moment. Just the right time to let go. Taking another deep breath of light in, surrounding yourself in light. Surrounding yourself in love, knowing that this is just a moment in time and you're letting go of the negative, and knowing that I am good in this moment. I am never alone, and I'm worthy, and I deserve to have the love that I deserve for myself. Taking a nice deep breath in. I will not allow anyone dictate to me how I feel about myself, for I know who I am, and letting it go. You know who you are. The angels know who you are. You deserve kindness and love, and sometimes your mind makes it the hardest. You can be the hardest on yourself, and that is not the way this journey is supposed to go. You're learning from your ego how to create self-mastery out of unconditional love for yourself and for those around you. And you deserve this. Taking a nice deep breath in, letting the body go, letting it release, letting it all release, holding on to that light, and then releasing your breath, letting go of anything negative, and getting your center, surrounding yourself in light. And it feels so good. And you're doing it just right. And you're not missing anything because you're right where you're supposed to be right now. With that said, you need to remember that you're a human. You're having a human experience. You're an angelic being. You're a higher form of life, having a human experience. And when that's happening and things aren't going just right, then it's just about reeling yourself in and not allowing the ego to dictate to you how you're going to think. Breathing in, taking a nice deep breath and letting go. And you're starting to feel better and better. As you go on with your day, remember who you are. Remember your higher self. And think to yourself, what is the best thing I can think right now? Releasing all negative energy and focused on a thoughtful process that's going to bring you back to where and who you really are. If you are still struggling with letting go of something or hanging on to something that just keeps rehearsing over and over, sometimes it's post-traumatic stress. It can be an extreme violation of your emotions where you have just really hit the wall and you need some help. Maybe then it's time for a reading. But you listen to this video several times, and every time it will get easier and easier as you're listening to my voice and drinking in that beautiful angelic energy. In the meantime, keep your balance, stay in the present. That's why it's called the present. If you're worried about things or your mind is taking off with something, that's because you're not being in the present moment. So stay in gratitude for what you do have that's going right. And if you do feel the need to schedule a reading, you can always get a hold of me at angelsconversations.com. And your angels are all around you. We're sending you love, angelic blessings, always.